What's up fam? My name is Jess, I'm the creator of Pinkrex, and today we're going to talk about shipping plants. If you're new here, I make videos about plants, video games, and lots more, so if you like that sort of content and you haven't done this already, please add 2 tablespoons of liquid laundry detergent to the like button's berry Gatorade before recapping it and placing it back into the fridge. Also, please subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Okay. Plant shipping. This is a ZZ plant that I found for $20 at my local Home Depot, and it actually has a little bit of variegation happening in multiple stems. I was really excited and actually made a TikTok about it, offering to send half of the plant to whoever would like to buy the plant for $20. So I'm going to be packing up half of this plant and sending it over to Phil. Thank you, Phil. You are an angel. So to ship this guy, I'm actually going to be splitting up the root ball and sending as close to half of the plant as I can get over to Phil. And to do that, I'm going to need to dump it out. So I'm going to need my potting mat. This is one of my 2 potting mats. I have a small one and a large one. I got them both from Amazon. I think this one was like $6 and the other one was like $15. They were on sale when I got them, so I will put a link to that in the description or in the comments, depending. It looks like this is in some kind of a wonky cover pot. Initially, I thought it was a biodegradable pot, but it's not. It's really just a really squooshed, oh my gosh, this thing is really crammed in here. But it has this cute little cover basket, so that's nice. I'm just going to be dumping out the ZZ as... Actually, I think I might have to cut it out of here. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut the pot. So something fun about ZZs is they are rhizomatous, meaning that they have rhizomes underneath the surface of the soil. They look kind of like potatoes. You'll see them in a second. They are for nutrient and water storage. They help the plant survive in super drought kind of conditions. Oh, it is really jam-packed in there. Aha! Okay. So that went, honestly, better than I was expecting it to. As gently as I can, I'm going to be pulling this, wow. That went really well, considering how wonky the pot was from having all those roots in there. So since the ZZ plants have that chemical in the roots that I can't remember the name of for the life of me right now, I am putting gloves on because I should have started this with gloves on, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to see if I can, I think this is 3 main kind of root masses. Oh my gosh. That was the most satisfying thing. The ZZ plants have a rhizome underneath the soil that holds onto water and nutrients for them and helps them survive in drought conditions. But it does also mean that if you're watering your ZZ more often than you're paying your rent, you're probably watering it too often. We didn't lose too much of its root mass. Well, I don't like the cracking. The cracking cannot be a thing, please. Can we not do the cracking thing? This root has actually reached up and over its neighbor. We're just pulling apart that second root mass. Yas. And I'm just going to clean off all this soil as best I can. In theory, if you wanted to, you can take these just like you can take potatoes to propagate them. And you could make a very clean, sharp incision right down the middle to split up this little grouping of plants, and that's how you would propagate this. I know that this stem has variegation, and it is dark variegation, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's definitely on there. It's easier to see on the new growth. I'll have to add some pictures of it. And my last big boyo might just be all one little tuber under there. I've actually seen a couple of people post about these ZZs online. There was one other one that I saw the actual picture of, and one other was just somebody claiming that they found one with some variegated spots on it. But they said they think it's an accidental result of some hormone adjustments that they've been doing. A lot of commercially cultivated plants have added hormones to help them mature faster, and we don't need to break it off, but I'm always tempted to. They're just like little potatoes. I just will break them apart. I'm going to send these 2 to Phil. 2 separate plants. You could put them in 2 separate pots if you wanted to. First of all, you're going to want either packing paper or something else to wrap the plant in to kind of keep it all together in one spot. A box that can hold it, and I just want to make sure that this box is going to be big enough. I will have to bend the bigger one just a smidge, but it is going to fit. And I'm going to be packing it with some moistened sphagnum moss around the roots. I use this brand Better Grow. I get it from Lowe's for like $5 a package. It's super cheap. And then you need a little bag to put the moss in with the roots. And of course, I suppose you'll need some tape. So since Phil was nice enough to buy this and do a plant share here, I'm gonna throw a couple of extra things in here, mostly because I like doing that when I send people plants. So I'm gonna be sending a couple of fern cactus cuttings. These guys are really cool. I have a big fern cactus hanging up there, but I'm not gonna get it down because I don't know if I'll be able to get it back up in time. Wow, that does not sound good. These are some fern cactus cuttings. They do have some wonky roots happening in the middle. With fern cactuses, you can either cut them. This one is perfect. It could go right in there. This one you could cut just below the root and then stick the root in the soil. Otherwise, you could just stick it in the soil. The contact with the soil will stimulate the base of this one to start having roots anyway. So this is silver satin pothos, otherwise known as Scindapsus pictus argyraeus. It is one of my favorite plants, and this is just a little cutting that I had from a while ago that's been rooting in water, so I'm going to send that one because it's really healthy. This is just a little cutting from a philodendron micans. I have no idea if you have one of these already or not, but I'm sending that too. And this is a cutting from my Hoya. It's been rooting for quite some time, and it really has like one root with a couple of other pieces of roots coming. Oh, it has two roots. They're just kind of stuck together. But this is Hoya pubicalyx, and it's one of my favorite Hoyas, so I'm going to send you that as well. So I'm just going to pack these up. I do have separate bags for the smaller cuttings that I have. I should note that this sphagnum moss is really, really well wrung out. If you moisten your sphagnum moss for shipping and then you squeeze it and water is still dripping out, it's not well enough wrung out. You need to wring it out some more. Alright, just a little bit behind them. And I'm not going to seal this all the way because they're ZZs. I'm just going to kind of squeeze it closed a little bit. I don't want all the moisture trapped in on the rhizomes. Whoop. Kicked over the broken pot. My bad. And I'm just going to be cutting a piece of paper large enough to hold those two ZZs in place for shipping. I need to vacuum in here anyway, I suppose. It's pretty much just like Christmas. You just wrap it up like a little present as best you can. You do want to wrap it pretty snug just to make sure, again, that it stays in place. It's gonna be weird because they're kind of flat. I don't really need my gloves anymore, do I? I'm just going to tape it down along a couple of points so it's snug but not crushing the leaves. There we go. I'm also going to fold the bottom in. Again, kind of like as if you were wrapping a little Christmas present. Because it is kind of like a present. Once you have it bent into a shape that will stay, hopefully, you can just tape that down as well. There we go. Hopefully 3 little pieces of tape can hold that in place. And the nice thing about packing paper is that it's meant to be like this way, so. All right, and check out these guys in there, snug as a bug. I have too much paper on the bottom, and I'm just actually going to tape the bag to the paper. And again, I'm just going to cut off the top very carefully here. Satisfying. There's the rhizomes in the bottom of the bag, wrapped in moss with the roots, and here's the leaves, ready to go. And for these guys, again, just putting a little bit of moss in the bag to make sure there's moisture in there. And then I'm gonna take these 3 together. Just gonna wrap them all together as best I can, trying to keep those roots nice and tucked into the moss. Again, I'm just going to wrap it in this extra piece of packing paper I have. It is like 8 o'clock. Did not realize it was that late. Ta-da! And again, I'm actually just gonna tape like around and across the bottom to get those plants to stay in there. And give her the old tape across. And there's that. And the last thing we need to do is get these so that they're not gonna flop around. I didn't really want to cut a whole other piece of paper for that. I suppose I could wrap, there's this paper from, my grandma bought me some really cute little plant pots at Target. They say like, plants are my soil mates. Or like, plant mom. Alright, so in this wonky little roll of paper are the fern cactus cuttings. They, again, don't need to be in anything because I just cut them. I'm going to tuck them alongside the ZZ cuttings because I know that they're not really going to go anywhere right there. And then I'm just going to fill the rest of the space with packing paper. Again, just reused paper from something that came from Amazon. All right. And thankfully the weather is going to be pretty good here the next couple of days, but if it were super hot or super cold. In the cold, I don't like to ship plants, but if I do, I like to ship them with full insulation and a heat pack. And I would be happy to do a video about that when the season comes. But really, it's just best not to ship plants in winter if you can avoid it. That's all I've got for today. That went really well, actually. Yeah. If you got something out of the video today, please remember to gently put 2 tablespoons of laundry detergent into the Like Buttons Vera Gatorade before recapping it and placing it back into the fridge. Also, please remember to subscribe to my channel down below and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Please drop a comment if you agree with how I packed the plants or if you have any suggestions. Again, I've packed lots of plants, but I'm always open to kind of changing things up or improving the ways that I do things. If you'd like, you can find me on Instagram under pinkrex with 2 X's, the same as it is here. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok where my username is the same. My username is the same everywhere. I don't know. Anyway, it's pinkrex with 2 X's. So whether I see you on one of the platforms I just listed or down in the comment section below, please comment something. Just know I really appreciate you being here and I still have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, thanks, bye. H-O-Y-A P-U-B-I-C-A-L-Y-X Pronunciation.
Hoya pubicalyx, and
I was right!